friend, Bruce Hughes. Bruce, how are you doing?
Yeah, Andrew, very, very good, and very excited to be on this call. I do have to warn everybody watching this, though. I'm officially on dad duty with 3 boys, 9, 7, and 6. Mum's gone across to the school for some evening meetings, so you will hear a bit of noise in the background. Hopefully, though, they won't come tumbling in here, so this should be a good call. But yeah, very excited to be on here.
Fantastic, good to have you on. And as importantly, my other good friend, Cliff Braun, coming to us all the way from Utah in America. And we've got Cliff on the call, and he's actually the star of the show tonight. Cliff, you're on the call tonight, or today, or this morning in your time. Cliff is a crypto expert. He is a crypto user. He is an enthusiast. He's a 7-figure income earner in the network marketing profession as well. Most importantly, in terms of what we want to discuss today, are very, very unique, and this in the card, a very unique card solution that we have, the GS Lifestyle card. Cliff is probably the most knowledgeable person that I know on what makes this card unique, what makes the opportunity behind this card unique. And, you know, it's going to be awesome just spending a bit of time with you, Cliff, and with Bruce. We'll ask Cliff a couple of questions about his experiences with the card, some things that make it unique. And I think it's basically Bruce, because he's such a good communicator, that's going to ask most of the questions. But also, very importantly, if you're dialing in live, let's see the word live here on the comment section. If you are watching the replay, let's have the word replay. Here's the other thing I want you to do. If anything that Bruce or Cliff or myself say is you find valuable, please press those little love buttons. The love buttons are great for the Facebook algorithms, which is fantastic. It also makes us feel good and important about ourselves. And you all know how people love to feel important about themselves. So the love buttons make us think we're important and that you're loving us, and that's cool. Send the love. And most importantly, if you think that you know there are people that need to see what we have here, please share this and click the share button. Tag them in here if they're team members that need to see this. But here's what we want to get out of the next however long we're going to talk for. We haven't discussed how long it is. Here's what we want to get out of it. What we want to get out of it is clarity. We want to get clarity from here as to what makes this card unique, or what makes the opportunity that sits behind this card unique for average entrepreneurs like me and you. And so, Bruce, I'm going to hand over to you, my friend. You're one of the best interviewers that I know. You ask the right questions in the most concise ways that just makes easier for people to understand. So I'm pretty much going to keep quiet and add a little bit here and there, but I'm going to hand over to you. And Cliff, thanks so much for your time, my mate. I know it's early in the morning. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, Cliff had to get in his car, shovel snow, get in his car, and travel at about 3 miles an hour to the office in the snow in Utah to be able to get to this call for us, on time. So Cliff, really appreciate your dedication to making this call happen today. But over to you, Bruce.
Yeah, so before we even go into that, Cliff, you know, you sent us photos this morning of you digging up, you know, getting the car out of the snow and stuff. How are your shoulders feeling? Are you okay? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, it's fine. I try to work out once a year, so that was it.
Okay, awesome stuff, Cliff. So we've got a lot of people on here that have been looking at GS Lifestyle. I mean, this is the card that's come onto the market. It's new for so many people. It's old to you. I mean, you've been using it. You've been working alongside the team and the company that produced it for a number of years now. And you really understand intimately the engine and the team that make this card unique in the marketplace. So I'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. You know, what is the team doing in the background that makes this card so unique? Why can we have confidence that it's here to stay? And how many different areas is this card really going to start changing people's lives? And I mean, these are the questions guys want to understand when they look at GS Lifestyle.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, a lot of people are intrigued with the freemium model. You know, people think everything should be free. And of course, I like free. Everybody likes free. But, you know, it was the first thing I learned in my economics class in college, that there is no free lunch. You know, banks don't provide free checking accounts. Exchanges do not provide free services. Card companies do not provide free cards. And so the industry is kind of confused. You know, the marketplace, I should say, is kind of confused, thinking that everything's free when it's not. And what we've seen is that, you know, people get a card like 10X and then it never comes out. Or people get a card like BitPay, which is a great solution, but you can pull money out of the ATM, then you can't. It works in this country, then it doesn't. So there's this arms race to get all of these people to use their card, to use their exchange, to use their banking services. And in that race, they overpromise and underdeliver. I've got a drawer filled with cards that don't work anymore, that promise they could do all these things. And there's companies that are not profitable because they're trying to offer everything for free, and then they end up going out of business or having to limit their services. And so I think one of the really cool things about this platform is that it's long term, it's profitable, it's working. It always works. It works everywhere. And so I think that peace of mind of knowing that, when you go to the ATM, your card's going to work. It's going to work in every country. We can deliver it to every country. So I think the stability, the fact that it's long term, the fact that it's working and profitable. So many of these card companies are in debt, not profitable, trying to offer things for free that they can't, because you just can't offer everything for free. It's impossible. So I like that it's stable, it's long term, it's credible. Some of the biggest names in crypto are currently using the platform. I'm not going to use their names here on this webinar, but you'd definitely be impressed if I said them.
Yeah, Cliff, and I love what you're saying there about you pay for it so it is sustainable. There is a fee so that it can last longer and longer and longer. It's not a fly-by-night operation. And Cliff, how many years have you been using this card for? How many years have you known about it, been talking about it, really helping the company behind this, introduce them to key players in the crypto space? What does that time span look like?
I've known about it for about 4 years. A friend of mine liquidated a few $100 million of Bitcoin, and I heard about his gold card, and I was just blown away. And I was like, I need that card in my life. Then I'll be happy, And I really wanted it, but you needed like $15 million in your checking account to qualify to get the card. This platform was only available to a small group of people. There was about 1,500 people that had $20 million in their checking account each. That was like the qualification to get this private bank in London checking account. And so it was really out of reach to me at that time. So I heard about it first. A really rich friend of mine who was a Bitcoin miner had it, and I really wanted it. And then, I've been into crypto for about 6 years. I've had the card myself for about 3 years. It wasn't until I started mining a lot of Ethereum and I had this need to be able to liquidate crypto faster. With Coinbase, say some college kid is broke and he's like, man, I'm $1,000 or 1,000 Rand short for rent. And he wants to sell his crypto on, Luna or Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini or whatever. They're all great platforms, but it's going to take a few days because the exchange has to communicate with the bank. So there's going to be a little lag time to make sure the funds clear. So when you go to sell crypto and you want to get cash, it could take 3 days, 5 days. If you wanted to sell $1 million of Bitcoin on Coinbase, it could take up to a month. And your fees range anywhere from like 4 to 9%. So with this platform, your fees are drastically less. The spread is more narrow. But to me, the coolest part was that instant liquidity, on-ramps and off-ramps to your liquidity so much faster. So if I sell crypto, the cash is available right away. But it also works the other way. A lot of people don't think about this. When you buy large batches of crypto, or maybe not even that large, maybe 1 Bitcoin, it's not available for you to send it off the platform when you use the major exchanges. So, you might go to any one of those major exchanges, and let's say you buy 4 Bitcoin and you need to send it to somebody. They'll only allow you to send off like half a Bitcoin immediately because they're waiting for the funds to clear, and they slow release in chunks your crypto. So that instant liquidity works both ways with this platform, which is really cool for people that are buying and selling and trading, because you want to be able to catch those highs and lows. And if you're waiting for the funds to clear from the last transaction, you could miss your next trade.
It's so true. And you bring up such a good point there, is that, up till now, the crypto community has had to jump through quite a few different hoops just to facilitate buying and selling. And so cryptos really has been embraced by the YouTubers and I don't really want to say this, but almost the geeks of the world, the more tech savvy people. So how do we move crypto using GS Lifestyle? How do we move crypto from the world of YouTube and 7 or 8 different hoops to mainstream, to the mums and pop shop using it, someone going and swiping their card to pay for petrol, gas, groceries? How does GS Lifestyle help with that transition, really make it a mainstream?
Great question. And it's 2 answers. It's one, It's, making the platform so easy to use that like a soccer mom could use it, right? And that's a work in progress, but it's already so much easier to use. The fact that you've got the crypto component, the card component, and the financial service component, essentially the e-bank, like the exchange and the card. Normally, you'd have to have 3 windows open on your computer. I remember always, it's like I'm dealing between BitPay, Coinbase, and Chase Bank. Now I can do everything under one roof. And so I always say that, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is kind of like where downloading music was before iTunes. You could do it, with LimeWire, Kazaa, and Napster. But just like you said, to your point, you had to be a techie or like a hardcore music freak, a mega fan. It didn't go mainstream until a platform like iTunes came around and made it legal and simple. And there's been some questions around the legality of cryptocurrency. And so as all of that comes into play, which it is, so the platform is getting better. And so that's part of it, is just making it easier to use. The only reason why cryptocurrency hasn't gone mainstream is because it hasn't been easy enough to use. And I believe the platform that you guys have has the potential to be to the crypto industry what iTunes was to downloading music. So that's the first answer to the question. Then the second answer is really education. It's all of you guys learning to use the platform, being a product of the product. It's one of those things that once you use it, you'll wonder, God, how did I ever live without it? I mean, from the concierge, all the different perks of the card. It's just the coolest thing ever. I was in Newport Beach with a friend of mine, and he's like, hey, don't you have to renew your driver's license? And I was like, oh, God. Like, I can do big things. I hate doing small things. It's probably my ego or some insecurity, but I hate doing menial crap, And I was like, oh, damn it. And just thinking about going to the DMV and spending hours there. I text my concierge. I was like, hey, could you help me renew my driver's license, online? And he's like, yeah, send me a picture of it. 15 minutes later, it was renewed and it was done. I was just like, God, that was awesome. I just bought a new Ducati motorcycle, cool Italian motorcycle in Colombia, and I wanted motorcycle parts. But what's difficult about that is like, you got to go to all these different websites. Number one, you got to make sure the websites aren't scams. Number two, you got to type your credit card into all those different websites. And I hate doing that. My address, the credit card, everything. Then number three, you got to worry about, do they ship to Colombia? And a lot of them didn't. I'm getting motorcycle parts from London. I got my seat from London. I got other parts from Japan. So I text my concierge and I text him a picture of the bike, kind of a list of the things I wanted. He went to all the different websites, bought all the different parts. They didn't all ship to Colombia. So he had everything shipped to his apartment in New York and then shipped everything to me. Saved me a ton of time, a ton of money. So from motorcycle parts to, your driver's license, to helping your kids with their homework, to ordering flowers, to helping you find the best deal on travel. I mean, just the concierge service alone. There's a company, I believe it's called Black, that charges $2,000 a year for basically the same service that, you guys get with your platform for free.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's actually amazing.
I started using it.
Sorry, Bruce. I was going to say, I use the concierge service over the. I use the. So we got a bit of a delay, obviously, but I use the concierge service this weekend for the first time, and it's a really great experience. We're all new users of the card and new users of the platform, and that's why we got you here, Clip. But I must say the experience I had this weekend was really pleasurable. I'm looking to take my wife away for a weekend somewhere, and I was able to just pass it all over to them, and they're doing all the research for me at the moment, coming back to me with all the suggestions, what I can get on, and with the important stuff in my life, which is making sure we got a business. And so I didn't have to do that this weekend. I'm still going to have to do it. They're just coming back to me with all the suggestions, and you think that it just comes free with the card. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, it's very cool. Kind of the idea is, if you look at like, your Platinum American Express, customer service is a little bit better. There's some extra perks. Now, this is a checking account, not a credit card. Like, I want to make that clear, like everybody understands that. But the idea is to give you those added perks that the higher end members, get with other card programs, the other mainstream card programs. So yeah, having the concierge, getting discounts on travel, the instant rewards. These are all kind of nice perks. And when you look at the other crypto cards out there, they're offering 2% cash back, 3% cash back, 4% cash back. 5, I think, is the highest I've seen. Maybe 6. Ours goes like up to 11, sometimes even 15% cash back. So, we really do have an amazing program.
I love what you said just now about, you had to open up so many different boxes in order to do different things. And now in this one box, in this one place, we can travel for cheaper. We can stay in places for cheaper. We've got a concierge person who can help us source whatever we want at better rates, better places. We've got our exchange into crypto. We've got our exchange into fiat. We've got our boutique banking system for remittance payments, to one another at almost zero fees. The last time I checked, member to member. It's just this incredible platform. But Cliff, you've traveled the world. That's one of your passions. You've got to stay in multiple places. You've built businesses in multiple countries. One of the things that you've probably heard is people go, that product will work there, but it's totally different here, or your business model might pay there, but people won't pay here. What do you say to people who make that the excuse for not embracing the products and embracing the business model?
Yeah, interestingly enough, I was on the phone yesterday for about an hour, a video Zoom call with the owner of one of the largest MLM payout companies in the world, maybe the largest. And we were talking about that. And most network marketing companies have to have multiple payout solutions. They're going to use iPayout, they're going to use GPG, they're going to use Quicker Pay, and they're using 5 or 6 different solutions, all in different places to be able to accommodate. And we can take money in 32 different forms, and we can pay money out and all over the world. And so it's great for companies to be able to have a seamless platform where everybody can be on the same program and it works everywhere. I think there's maybe North Korea and maybe Iraq. I forget. There's a handful of places in the world that doesn't work, but 99.9% of everywhere, it's up and running and working. It's a global, worldwide solution. Anywhere that there's the Mastercard logo, you're good to go.
And Cliff, last question, and this really is going to be based on your experience as a network marketer. Sorry, what's that?
No, I was joking. You're like, last question. I'm like, oh, look at the time, gotta go. Yeah, all the questions. Give me all the questions.
Don't do that to us.
So this is the question that really is built around our partner program. You've built communities of people around different products all over the world. What should our community really be focused on to make sure that our partner program goes and captures markets and gets this product into more and more users' hands? And this is an off-the-cuff question. What are some of the maybe 1, 2, or 3 principles that our partner program should really focus on, our people should focus on in order to build out big communities, big networks?
I think what it is really is to be a product of the product and to dive into using it, really get to know the product. Because the more you get to know the product, the better you're going to feel about it. And we all know it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. And so if you're just out there selling something you don't really understand, whoever is the more knowledgeable person in the conversation is always going to win that debate. And the truth is, sometimes other people will say you know what, I looked on Coinbase and their price to buy Bitcoin was a little bit cheaper than your price to buy Bitcoin. And that's not actually true. But if you're uneducated and you haven't been using the platform, you could see that screenshot and be like, oh my God, it does look like, we're a little bit higher, when that's not true at all, because they bake their fees into the end. Very similar to Expedia or Orbitz. And again, Expedia is a great platform. Orbitz is a great platform, Hotwire, Kayak, but they all operate under the same pretense that, when you go to book travel, it says the room is $89. And then when you get to the very end, it's like, oh, $40 resort fee and taxes. And all of a sudden your $89 room is $130. And so it's the same with the exchanges. People need to understand that there's a spot price of what, cryptocurrency is at, kind of like the market price. When you buy it, you're always going to pay a little bit more. And when you sell it, you're always going to get a little bit less because the exchange has to make money performing these transactions. Remember, there is nothing free ever. And so a lot of times what happens is you'll think you're getting a better price somewhere else. But once you get to the very end of the transaction and they add in all of their fees, you're going to be paying much, much more. And so just a little crypto education that obviously, Bruce and Andrew know already. The difference between the price you pay for a cryptocurrency and the price that you're selling it is called the spread. And what you're looking for is a more narrow spread. The wider the spread, the more money the exchange is making. The more narrow the spread, the cheaper you're getting your coin for, and the better price you're getting when you sell it. So just understand that there's so many subtle nuances to the platform that you really need to get in there and learn so that you can properly defend it, because we all have friends that just love to give us a hard time. And in South Africa, it's almost like their national sport. Let me just see how much of a hard time I can give my friend. South Africa and London seem to be really good at it. And so I think it's important that you guys really learn the platform, because it is the best thing out there, but you have to understand it to be able to promote it properly and defend it properly.
Love that, Cliff. Love your opening statement there. Make sure that you're a product of the product, so you understand where the hidden nuances and different nuances are. And that really, I think, is the invitation to the community. If you haven't yet plugged in and got yourself a GS lifestyle card, you're missing out on understanding just how much saving you're sitting on, and you're missing out on how much earning potential you're literally letting walk on past you. So, Cliff, I so appreciate your time. I know that this is time that you could be spending on other work, family, friends. So to put us in that same bracket, we so appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. I was honored to be on the call with you guys. You're both absolute legends. I can't wait to come to South Africa and have a lekker braai and visit you guys. So, I'll see you soon.
Actually, don't forget, Cliff, when you come, don't forget to bring your card.
Absolutely. Definitely.
All right, so everyone, that's it for us for right now. Bruce and Cliff, thank you so much. If you got value, guys, just pump the little love buttons there. I'm looking over here. I want to see some love buttons. Right, a couple of other things I wanted to say.